Live from the Caterpillar Global Communications Center at Bradley University, this is BUTV News.
Good evening and welcome to BUTV News. I'm Sam Kohlmeyer.
And I'm Jackie Myers. Let's take a look at the news.
On February 17th, Bradley University's honorary trustee and alum, the Honorable Robert H. Michael, passed away. Bradley President Gary Roberts said the university is indebted to Michaels for their leadership within the community. Michael was important to securing the money to build this very building, the Caterpillar Global Communications Center. In 1999, the university named the Student Center after Michael due to his over-the-top career in public service and support for Bradley. He will be missed. Well, Mardi Gras doesn't start until next Tuesday, but Bradley's Jazz Fest did not wait to kick things off. Here on the Hilltop, BUTV's Sean McGinnis has more.
4, 3, 2, 1.
On Tuesday, Bradley held its 13th annual Jazz Festival. Beginning at 8 in the morning and running throughout the day, the festival featured 15 local high school bands that performed in the Student Center Ballroom, followed by the evening concert featuring the Bradley Groove Project and Bradley Jazz Ensemble. Each year, Director of Jazz Ensembles Dr. Todd Kelly arranges a guest artist to join in his favorite part, the evening concert with Bradley's students.
But I would say these concerts. I mean, the day is amazing with all the high school bands coming in, but just getting in front of a crowd like this, with these kids all riled up with an artist like that, it's just an amazing experience. And still at age 51, I just get a high from it.
This year's guest artist was Tom Bones Malone, whose resume includes arranging music for NBC's Saturday Night Live for 10 years, playing as a member of the Blues Brothers, and working with legends like James Brown, Ray Charles, and Stevie Wonder. For Bones Malone, playing music is all about having a good time.
These students were absolutely great. They're enthusiastic, as you could tell on the stage tonight. They have a good time. I encourage them in the rehearsal. I encourage them, let's have some fun. That's what music is all about, is having some fun. If we're having fun on the stage, and the audience is going to have fun, and then everything works.
I feel good.
Feeling good indeed. From the Student Center Ballroom for BUTV News, I'm Sean McGinnis.
Last Thursday, the Smith Career Center held its biannual Job and Internship Fair. Christina Cliver was there and has some helpful tips for those of you looking for a job.
There were 166 employers at the Job and Internship Fair on Thursday. While this gives students a lot of options for employers, the Fall Internship Fair is the bigger fair, having over 200 employers. With all of those companies present, most employers were looking for full-time employees or for students interested in summer internships. The Smith Career Center goes to great lengths to find these companies for students.
We actually do extensive marketing to a variety of companies every year. We keep about 4,000 companies in our database that we reach out to and maintain relationships with in order to get them to come and recruit our students.
Nagy said that the staff in the Smith Career Center goes above and beyond in the summer to visit employers in Chicago and St. Louis in order to get them to come to the job fair during the next school year. This often leads to many employers coming to the job fair that have never come before.
We know that the companies are looking absolutely for the academic or technical skills that students would learn in class. We also know that those companies, a lot of them are looking for the leadership, soft skills that they might be learning in their organizations or in their internships, that sort of thing.
Nagy said his best advice to students is to talk to more companies than you think you need. Make relationships early with employers. Many of these companies come back year after year, and if you make a relationship early with them, then you'll have a better chance at getting an interview during your senior year when you're looking for a job. He also added that you need to look good, have a killer resume, a great elevator speech, and know some information about the company you're going to talk to.
I would encourage you, before you go up and talk to a company, to walk over in a corner, look up on their website and know the 5 things that you should know about that company. Like, use your phone and know something about them. They want you to engage and know a little bit about them as much as they want to be engaged with you.
Reporting in the Renaissance Coliseum for BUTV News, I'm Christina Cliver.
Speaking of jobs and internships, the Smith Career Center wants students to remain mindful of scams. Apparently, there was an email scam pretending to be a recruiter from Zenefits Payroll Incorporated. Although this is a real company, the individual who sent the email was not an employee of the company. The scammer informed the student that they received the student's resume from the Smith Career Center. However, they do not give out resumes without the consent of the students. The Smith Career Center is advising students to be aware of these scams.
The Black Student Alliance hosted an elegant event this past weekend. This past Saturday, the Black Excellence Ball was held at the Garrett Center. The event was hosted by the Black Student Alliance organization. The ball celebrated the history of Black excellence through values such as strength, perseverance, and love. Students performed poetry and sang songs to represent these values. The Black Student Alliance also honored alumni and held a question period where they shaped the stories of being a Black student on Bradley's campus. Students were welcome to enjoy food and beverages served, and also the opportunity to partake in a photo booth with fun accessories included. To end the night, the BSA committee announced the new Mr. and Mrs. Freshman, as well as Mr. and Mrs. Black Excellence. This ball was one of many Black History Month events that students can enjoy this semester. Last Wednesday, the Office of Diversity and Inclusion held an interactive table in the Student Center to help break stereotypes. This event was in honor of the historic Million Man March, where African American men were breaking stereotypes. During this event, they wanted to break stereotypes of all people and not just those of African Americans. Students were able to come up to the table and write down a stereotype they have heard people say about them or about someone else. The hope was to help spread awareness about all the different stereotypes people have on others that are different from themselves.
So we are doing this in honor of the Million Man March that took place in 1995, and what it was doing was breaking the stereotypes against Black men, but today we're breaking all stereotypes.
I just think it's important to break stereotypes because they typically marginalize groups of people, so it's important to show that whatever group or whatever stereotype you might fit under is not true about you, and you can achieve to be more than that stereotype.
The organizers said that by the end of the event, they had received over 100 responses of different stereotypes that had been heard by Bradley students.
Last Wednesday, the faculty in the English department, along with the faculty of the Colin Davis Library, held a read-in in the Student Center to honor Gwendolyn Brooks. Gwendolyn Brooks was a famous poet who was the first African-American poet for Illinois, first African-American to win a Pulitzer Prize and an advocate for socioeconomic, political, and racial issues. Her poetry focused on community, and that was the goal of this event. Brooks brought the Bradley community together from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and continually read her poetry in honor of what would have been her 100th birthday. Students and faculty all went up to the microphone to share their favorite Brooks poems. They hope to fill the Student Center with her words in celebration and to inspire Bradley students to write poetry. Next month, they are holding a contest for students to submit a poem that either talks about Brooks or uses some of her poetic lines in their own way. These winners will then present their poems at another event in April that will honor Brooks. The Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated and Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated hosted a groovy event this past weekend. Last Thursday, the Soul Train Remix event was held at the Garrett Center. This event was the result of a collaboration between the Zeta Phi Beta and Sigma Gamma Rho sororities. The event had a heavy 70s theme inspired by the musical variety television show of the same era called Soul Train. The remix portion consisted of students performing and lip-singing to songs that represent African American music throughout the 70s, 80s, 90s, and even the 2000s. Besides enjoying the performances, students were encouraged to dance, indulge in snacks and beverages, as well as games with chances to win prizes. Students who attended the event in the 70s themed costume were placed in a raffle for the chance of even more prizes. All students were allowed to attend, have fun, and dance through the stress of classes while celebrating Black History Month.
Stick around to find out more about the Oscars with Andrea Morris.
And later, we'll talk to Natalie Aiken about her medical misconduct app.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning. 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash? 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Did you go to the school yard? Calm down, please. Where did you look? We can make a plan somehow. If I just. He's a smart boy, and he's gonna be okay. Okay, try to call him again. There's no reception. Everything is down. Try. I can't. Try already. Nothing's working. Well, just everything's down. Do you think he's on his way? Please. Is he okay? Laura. Please tell me he's okay. I need you to calm down. What? It's my baby. This is so bad. He's out there by himself.
Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov.
So, John, it was supposed to get up to 71 today, but it didn't quite make it there.
Yeah, I hear there's like a major jet stream in Canada.
Eh? Yo, that's exactly what's going on right now. So we'll actually flip on over to the map, and we can kind of get a look right now at the radar of what's going on in the area of Peoria. And as we can see, absolutely nothing's going on. Nay, Peoria, Illinois as a whole, not a lot of action going around. As you can see to the west, there's still nothing there. So precipitation will not hit us within the next few days. Let's go take a look at the high-low pressure systems. And there is that major jet stream that we were talking about earlier. As you can see in the west, any activity in the west is kind of getting pushed up as it makes its way through about the mountains in the mountain time zone, and it gets pushed up into Canada, and it kind of trails all the way up into northern eastern Canada. So with us, we don't have any cold air that's going to hit us within the next couple of days. However, that front is going to get pushed to us, so we will get some colder temperatures by the time the weekend comes. And with that, let's take a look at the 5-day forecast. You can see what we've got going on in our area over the next few days. So on Thursday, we got 62, some warm temperature. However, some thunderstorms that will trail on into Friday, high of 67 there. Saturday and Sunday, that's when we get that major dip when we hit that cold front. 34 with a low of 22 on Saturday. On Sunday, high of 45 with a low of 31. Starts to warm up on Monday. We'll get a 52 with a low of 40. So it looks like we're getting some preliminary spring weather. But nonetheless, it's time for entertainment with Andrea Morris.
Hollywood's biggest and final award show, the Oscars, is coming up this Sunday. Late-night talk show host Jimmy Kimmel will be hosting the 89th Academy Awards. This year's nominees are much more diverse in comparison to last year's, which prompted major outcry among actors and fans over the lack of diversity in the nominations. And speaking of the Oscars, did you know an Oscar statue is not really worth much? The process of creating the 24-karat gold-plated statue costs about $400, but due to an Academy rule, before any Oscar statue can be put up for bidding, it must first be offered to the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences for just $10. It may seem quite odd that one of the entertainment's most coveted awards is so cheap, but in the end, it's the win that is the big moment for the nominees.
Well, thank you, Andrea. What movie are you most hoping for to win an Oscar?
Honestly, probably going to say anything that has nothing to do with Harry Potter.
Wow.
Okay. What about you guys? Have any front runners?
I think Fences or Hacksaw Ridge. Both of those.
Yeah.
I've heard that they're great. I don't really watch movies.
I really want La La Land to win, and I think it will. So I'm excited to see.
All right. Up next, we will learn more about a cool medical misconduct app.
And later find out what team had a clean sweep with Pablo Iglesias.
told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up? Oh, we finally bought a place. Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on... Is it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
La 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 la, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Get your ass up. You're not in here. Yes, I am. Move. Give it to him hard.
No, ow.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why you stabbing me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how.
Oh, you got...
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Today, students got together once again in the Student Center to have a demonstration. The demonstration was dedicated to Trayvon Martin and others who suffered from any injustices during the demonstration. Students wore all black and chanted "Black Lives Matter, no justice, no peace, hands up, don't shoot," and more while holding a number of signs. This demonstration went on from 11:30 a.m. until 1 p.m. All students were invited to join the chant and take pictures of the demonstration. And now, joining us in the studio is special guest Natalie Aiken. Sam?
Thanks, Jackie. We are so excited to be interviewing Natalie Aiken, an advocate for the prevention of systemic medical misconduct. Well, thank you so much for joining us in the studio today. Could you tell us exactly what systemic medical misconduct is?
Absolutely. Doctor sexual misconduct is the epidemic of doctors across the U.S. sexually abusing their patients and essentially getting away with it. Over 2,500 doctors were found guilty of sexually abusing their patients in the U.S. this past year, and over half are still fully licensed and seeing patients right now.
Wow. So what caused you to become an advocate for this?
Well, this summer I saw an interview with a woman named Erin Vance who was abused by her anesthesiologist, and I thought it was super interesting and super creepy. So I talked to my family about it, and apparently this problem isn't as far away from home as I thought it was. So people in my family that have experienced this didn't have a voice when it happened to them. So I want to be the voice for people that are experiencing that today.
That's incredible. So is there any way to find out if doctors have a history of misconduct?
Yes. There's a website called the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. They have the biggest investigation of doctor sexual misconduct, and they have a place where you can search your doctor or your city or your state to find out if any of your doctors or anyone around you has been accused.
Awesome. So what caused you to make this medical app then?
Well, I think the biggest way to get rid of and to combat doctor sexual misconduct is to learn what your doctor should and should not be doing when you're in the exam room with them. So I created an app so people have at their fingertips, quite literally, what doctors should be doing during their exams, like a pap smear, clinical breast exam, prostate exam, and even the standard physicals.
That's incredible. And one last question, we only have time for this one. So the app is completely free, right? Like not paid?
Yep, not paid at all. It's free, Google Play and the App Store, free for all of those compatible apps. Yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Natalie. It's been a pleasure having you into the studio.
If you want to download the Medical Misconduct app, go to the App Store and look up Medical Misconduct, or feel free to email Natalie at natkins@mail.bradley.edu.
Stay tuned to find out what Bradley's team had a clean sweep.
And later we have a band that will psych you out.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning. 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash? 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Did you go to the schoolyard? Calm down. Where did you look? We can make a plan somehow. If I just. He's a smart boy, and he's gonna be okay. Okay, try to call him again. There's no reception. Everything is down. Try. I can't. Try already. Nothing's working. Well, just everything's down. Do you think he's on his way? Please. Is he okay? Laura. Please tell me he's okay. I need you to calm down. What? It's my baby. This is so bad. He's out there by himself.
Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov.
So I hear this weekend somebody took a broom to the Markin tennis courts and cleaned a house.
Yep. We got that coming up. Some nice warm weather that we had on Saturday at the tennis match. But first, we got to talk about some basketball. So after Friday's win against Missouri State, the women's basketball team looked to extend their home win streak to 5 against Wichita State. Fans also took part in trying to break the world record for most sandwiches made simultaneously. So let us see how that turned out. On Sunday, former Brave Brooke Bisping was in the house to help push the world record effort. While falling just short, fans were still treated to free sandwiches. Not a bad deal if you ask me. Lady Braves rolled off to a great start with Annika Schluter delivering her signature bread and butter move, driving to the paint. The Shockers, however, spread out around the floor, generating opportunities to put the Braves away. Part of her 13 points, Chelsea Brackman gets a sweet dish from Letty Lerma and finishes with a nice lay-in. But even with 4 players going ham, scoring in double figures, the Braves fell short to Wichita State, 76-69. On a beautiful Saturday afternoon, the women's tennis team broke out the brooms and did some spring cleaning against Western Illinois and Chicago State. Despite a rough outing from their star Ari Dechter, the Braves swept their doubleheader with ease. The team continues their 6-match homestand with another doubleheader this Saturday. Bradley baseball is back, and boy, did they have a great opening series in the Lone Star State. After dropping their first game, the Braves stormed back with a 9-5 W, setting up the rubber match on Sunday. In the top of the 9th, dead tied at 6, Juan Franco Garron blasted one to right that clanked right off the foul pole as the Braves snuck away with a 7-6 victory and a series win. The team travels to Tennessee Tech this weekend in a 3-game set with the Golden Eagles. Briefly, in other sports news, freshman Taylor Lidwin led women's golf team to the 15th place finish in the Amelia Island Collegiate in Florida. Dante Thomas was named the Country Financial Scholar Athlete of the Week, and the men's basketball team will honor seniors Alex Foster and senior managers Charlie Barchett and Alex Hegseth. And now finally, the play of the week comes from a great team effort from the men's basketball game this past Sunday against the Evansville Aces. In a tight game, Dante Thomas suffocates the inbounder Dante Gibson. Then it's Luke Von Brie who lays out, but oh, watch out, watch out, watch out, as D'Lo throws down the emphatic jam. Now, let's just show this one more time for the folks at home. Oh, that's a beauty right there. High-flying D'Lo. Now, that definitely got the Carver Arena buzzing, especially the bench. They had a good time seeing that one. And I guess to say, I know I'm a little pun heavy today, but it looks like Evansville, the Aces weren't dealt with the right card in that one. Say, sorry,
wow.
I couldn't resist. Couldn't resist that.
Pablo, that was straight fire. Well, up next, we're going to find out about some cool events on campus this week.
And after, we'll end the night with a rockin' band that you don't want to miss.
It's harder whenever there's a bigger group. Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it, I see it! Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Now let's take a look at events on campus for this week. Tomorrow at 7, there will be the day that Patrice Coloris, a Black Lives Matter co-founder, will be coming to Bradley to speak on injustices. Admission is completely free to the students and the public. From Thursday to Sunday, the Hartman Center Theater will be performing the play These Shining Lives. This play is based on a historical record. You can buy your ticket at the Cultural Events box office in the Hartman Center. Late Night BU will be this Friday. There will be bingo, inflatable games, raffle prizes, and not to mention snow cones and mac and cheese bar. This just scratches the surface of the activities for the event. Late Night BU will be at 9 in Markin Center.
That's it for BUTV this week. I'm Sam Kohlmeyer.
I'm John Collin.
I'm Pablo Iglesias.
And I'm Jackie Myers. We leave you tonight with a performance from Synthetic. Have a splendid night.
Done.